Okay, so we gotta find all the solutions of the equation. Gotta check our solutions. Why do we have to check our solutions? Did the other one say we had to check our solutions? No, I'll tell you why we have to check our solutions, because I see this x on the bottom of this denominator. What is x not allowed to be?
0.
Yes. What is x not allowed to be right here? Or 0. So you have to check your solutions, because if you get one of the excluded values for one of your solutions, you have to x that one out. That's not a solution. So, which one you guys want to do first? 57 or 60? 60. Okay, so this works for any fraction. Any problem that has a variable on the denominator, you can do it like this. Now, I'm going to get rid of the fractions. If you want to get rid of the fractions on all of the terms in an equation, you just have to multiply by the common denominator. So put that like on your notes right next to these problems. Multiply by common denominator. All right, so I'm going to look at this one really quick. What's the common denominator for that?
2x.
There's a 1, there's an x, and a 2. What's the common denominator for that? 2x. Now check this out. If I multiply this by 2x, watch what happens. I multiply that times that, and I get 2x squared. What is 2x times this? Okay, it's got to be over 1. What happens to my x's? They cancel out, right? And then you have 2 times 3, which is what? 6. So we have equals 6 plus, now what's 2x times this? The 2 times 1/2 is going to be what? Here, let's do it this way. What happens to my 2's? Cancel out. Now I have 1 times x, which is x. So I multiply it by the common denominator, and look what happened. I have no more fractions. It's beautiful, right? Okay, we can do the same thing with this guy right here. Now, this is a quadratic, so don't forget you have to make it equal to 0, factor it, and solve it, just like we did before. This one right here, what is our common denominator going to be? What would I multiply to everything? Let's just keep them in factored form. X plus 1 and x plus 2. Okay, that is going to be the common denominator for all of these. That's kind of like the cheap way to find a common denominator. If you want to find a common denominator, you multiply all the denominators together. That's a common denominator. All right. Now, usually you want to find the least common denominator, but this always works. It's like the silver bullet. If you just remember this, you multiply all the denominators together to get a common denominator, you're going to be golden. Okay, check this out. This times this. What's going to happen? X plus 1s are going to go away. Yeah? And so we're just going to go 4 times this. And what do I get when I go 4 times that? 4x plus 8. Okay, so I get 4x plus 8. And I'm going to put parentheses around this guy, minus, because I see a minus sign. I'm scared of him. All right, this guy times this guy. What's going to happen to the denominator? Piece out of there. So I have to multiply 3 times x plus 1. What do you get?
3x plus 3.
3x plus 3. So I'm going to write 3x plus 3. Put my parentheses, equals, and then 1 times this. Well, it's just going to be that, right? So I write x plus 1, and then x plus 2. Okay. What would I mess up on most likely if I did not put parentheses around this guy? I would not distribute the negative. So that should be a negative 3x, and that should be a negative 3. So I'm going to do it right now so I don't forget later. All right, and then this side I'm going to have to multiply. That's going to be x squared plus 3x plus 2. You use the box, use the double rainbows, whatever you want. All right, and then when I write everything out, it starts looking more clean. We have 4x plus 8 minus 3x minus 3 equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. No fractions. Can you combine like terms and get everything on one side and solve? Yeah. I know you're like, I could do it, but I don't want to. On the left side, I have the negative 3x and a positive 4x, so I have 1x. And then I combine those two, I get positive 5. And on this side, I have the x squared plus 3x minus or plus 2. Now let's move these guys to the other side. So that means I got to subtract them. So I get 0 on this side, and then I get x squared plus 2x, and then I get minus 3. Now we factor and solve. Factor is x plus 3, x minus 1. And so what are my two answers? Negative 3 and positive 1. Because negative 3 and positive 1 would make those, that would make this equal 0 if I plug it into both, and the positive 1 would make this equal 0 if I plug it into both. Okay, negative 3, is it safe? Is negative 3 safe? Can I plug in negative 3 to that denominator?
Yes.
How about that one?
Yes.
All right, we're good. What about 1? Can I plug it into that one?
Yes.
1 plus 1? Yes. And that one? Yeah. Okay, so both my answers are safe. I don't have to X anybody out.